It's Miss Alessandra from the Weston Public Library doing another at-home craft time with you. I know you've seen Miss Laura the last couple weeks doing these, but I'm going to pop in for this week. And today we're going to be making silly monsters using toilet paper rolls or cardboard egg cartons. Whatever you have around the house you can kind of use to make silly monsters, okay? So stay tuned and I'll let you know the supplies that I need you to get in order to make your own silly monster. So the supplies that you need for the silly monster craft is kind of whatever's hanging around your house. I'm going to use a toilet paper roll to do this, but I'm going to give you a couple of different options. So I have a toilet paper roll here, but you could use a cardboard egg carton and you could cut out a couple of the egg carton slots. You could use other cardboard tubes or a paper towel tube. Whatever you kind of have around your house, you'd be able to make a silly monster out of, because it's whatever you want it to look like. You will also want to either have like some scrap pieces of construction paper, different colors, or you can have paint and a paintbrush, or you could do some markers or crayons. Any of those three things, or all of those things, whatever you want to use for your monster. The other thing I'm going to use is googly eyes. You can just use a marker or paint for this. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner, but you could also use more scrap pieces of paper. You could use pom-poms. And then I'm going to be using tape, but you could certainly use a glue stick or liquid glue. And finally, scissors. No matter what you're using, you're probably going to need scissors. So that's it. And if you want to make your own silly monster, I'll show you how I make mine, and then you can go and create your own silly monster. So the first part in making my silly monster is going to be using my toilet paper tube and coloring it the color I want the monster's body. If you're using another type of cardboard tube, you're going to do the same thing. If you're using an egg carton, I recommend using the cardboard ones, and I would cut out 2 of the egg slots to make the body of the monster. All right, so I have some paper that I'm going to use, but you could use paint, you could use markers, you could use crayons. I'm going to use paper, and it's about half the size of the paper. So I'm going to cut my paper in half. So I'm going to cover the tube with this paper. Cut the paper in half. Yeah. And then I'm going to wrap the paper around the tube, or if you're painting, you're going to paint the entire tube. Okay. I'm using tape, and I'm going to tape my paper on the edge, fold it over into the inside. I'm going to do that on both ends so that my paper is sealed and stuck to the tube. Okay, so that's my purple monster. And now to make the rest of the monster, you kind of just have to decide what you want. So I know I'm going to want to put at least one googly eye. You can also use paint for this. So I'm going to pop off a googly eye, and I'm going to make him a one-eyed monster and put that right in the middle. I'm going to want him to have some teeth, and I have some scrap pieces of paper here that are in bright colors. So I'm going to cut out some teeth with these bright colors. I'm going to cut them out into triangles. So, show you. Cut a triangle. I'm going to cut, I think, maybe 2 for now. Okay. Cut 2. And that will be part of his mouth. So I'm going to take a piece of tape, or you can take glue, and I'm going to tape those pieces on. Oops. I'm just doing double-sided tape to stick it on because I can't find my glue stick. So I'm going to tape his teeth on. Okay, there's his teeth. I'm also going to make him have maybe a mustache. I don't know if I can cut a mustache, but we're going to try. Okay, so cut a little bit of looks more like a frown. That's his mustache. That's his mustache. And then I'm gonna make him have some hair. So I have another piece of scrap paper here. I was cutting out rats. So I'm gonna cut a little piece of this scrap paper off. And it's the whole width of the paper, which is an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And what I'm going to do now is, just like I was cutting out triangles here, I'm going to do that same thing all the way around this to make some crazy, spiky, silly monster hair. So I'm just cutting out triangles and letting them fall. Maybe I'll use those later. Like I said, this craft is just super easy. It's silly. You're making your own silly monsters. So that is my hair. And I'm going to wrap the hair just like I did the body of the toilet paper roll. I'm going to wrap the hair around. Get a piece of tape. And stick it on. So there's some silly monster hair. And let's see what else I would like to do here. I have my pipe cleaner, and I'm going to make some crazy swirls coming out of him. So I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, and I'm going to actually poke a hole in the side using the edge of the pipe cleaner. You might need a parent's help for this. Let's see if this one's strong enough. If not, I will have to use the scissors, but usually they're pretty... Nope, okay. So I'm going to actually have to poke a hole using the scissors. So you definitely need parents' help with this. Just okay. Get a little hole in there. I just need to get it in a little bit so that it will stick out. So I poked a hole. And let's see if I can actually get it in. There we go. Okay, so I got it in. And now I'm just going to twirl this using my finger, just around my finger. Twirl it around. Just use my finger. And then pull. So it's just sticking out. And I'm going to do the same thing, I think, on the other side, but not exactly, symmetrically on the same place. So maybe a little bit further down, so he kind of just has these weird arms sticking out of him. And again, I'm going to have to poke a little bit of a hole here. Make sure your parents help you with this part. Okay, so got it in. again, just using my finger, I'm going to twirl it around, and then I'm going to slide my finger out and pull up. So that's that. And now I'm going to take a marker and finish up his face. So I'm going to do some black. And I think I'm going to make him have an eyebrow above his one eye. And then maybe just, I'm going to move his mustache up a little bit and make him have a mouth. I'm going to have to retape that on. So I'm going to shift that a little bit. I'm going to put a mouth right there. Okay, grab another piece of tape, put his mustache back on. Okay, tape his mustache on over his mouth. So there's his face. And finally, I have all of these little triangles that I cut out, and I may just stick them on and maybe make some spots or, I don't know, something with these. So let's see. I'm going to use a little bit of tape. I'm going to just put a couple of these on. He's going to have some triangular spots. Triangular spots. Just random places. So I just put some spots on him. And that's really it. That's your silly monster. So you can kind of do anything you want with him. You can have him, instead of making hair out of a piece of paper, you could make hair out of a bunch of pipe cleaners and just have them sticking out all over. You can have him have multiple eyes. I could put some more eyes on him. Just pop some eyes off. Maybe I make him have 3 eyes. He's just a silly monster, right? So maybe he has an eye over here and an eye over there. Oh, now he's even sillier. Maybe put another eyebrow over this one. Another one over there. Maybe put some stripes on his spots. Just kind of making him look silly. And that's my silly monster. So it's super easy, just something fun and quick for you to do with things lying around the house. And I hope you had fun with this one. It's our silly monster. See you guys next time.